Hey, how's it going, everybody? Coach Kyle here, and we got what is it? It's May 1st, people, and there's so much snow outside. It snowed a little bit yesterday, April 30th, but holy cow, we got a good blizzard. I wonder if they postponed or made a snow day. I don't even know, but in celebration of the snow, I'm wearing my warmest stuff. I got my shirt from Malaga, España, y llevo mi sombrero de Colombia, and I'm warm in my heart, in essence here. And I'm trying to stay warm, and I'm probably not going to run outside today because I don't want to be cold. But I want to give a shout out to Susie White in the Plant Based Runners Unite group. She posted a really good big question, and I could tell this is important to her, and I can tell she's confused, and she has every reason to be. So I'm gonna read basically what she wrote, and then I'm gonna just give my thoughts. So. Can someone please help me out? Please, with multiple E's and A's and S's in all caps. I'm so confused about nutrition for runners, and have been for a long time. I'm 18 years old, and I like to say I'm an ultra marathoner. Susie's only done 50K races. She hopes to continue to increase as she gets older. As for nutrition, I am so confused as to what to be consuming, as I often feel super lethargic and lack energy, especially in the mornings. I have been to a nutritionist, and she told me I need to be eating so much protein and fat and healthy and hardly any carbs. She did try to get me to consume animal products, as she believes vegans can't use the fuel the best way, as apparently we need heaps of protein and fat in our diets. Never going to eat any animal products, but it really just got me super confused, as I have been told this by my coach, as he wants me to eat eggs and fish. I don't listen to the non-animal advice, but increased my vegan protein and fat sources for a few months, but found I wasn't feeling good at all. I'm not sure if it's because I'm still growing, but I seem to be always hungry, and I wake up super ravenous. I'm just super confused about what to eat, and always seem to get bad stitch during a run. Like people say, high fat is best. People say low fat is best for runners. People say listen to your body. I'm just so confused. I don't know. I don't think my body knows what the hell to do with all this information. I'm probably overthinking everything, but if there's anybody out there that can help, that would be extremely helpful. So I know it is totally confusing. In high school, in middle school, early high school, I gained a ton of weight, and then I lost it in high school. I earned a degree in nutrition. I grew up on a dairy farm. So, earning a degree in nutrition in South Dakota, there's a lot of, pro USDA type diet. Eat your wheat, eat your beef. Team beef. But growing up on a dairy farm, I was in I was that was and having a vegan friend, it kind of opened me to the ethics behind not eating meat. But so the problem with people recommending diets is that there's a lot of problems, and like even me, as somebody who has not eaten meat for over a decade, who isn't vegan but eats very little animal products. I don't typically recommend going vegetarian or vegan for health reasons. Obviously, for ethics and the environment, I do. But for health reasons, my usual go to advice is the advice that helped me lose 80 pounds. It's from Michael Pollan: eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. Most people aren't going to go vegan, few are going to go vegetarian, but they can cut back their animal food intake. They can eat mostly plants, and that's going to go a long way for most people. When you consider diets throughout the world, modern and kind of historical diets, that's the main pillars of all those diets that people thrive on, whether it's the blue zone diet, where people live the longest, whether it's the Native Americans or the Native Alaskans, the Inuits who live off of like moss, I think, and like whale blubber and all that stuff. Like, it's real food. It's limiting the unprocessed aspect of their diet. So if you took a good healthy diet, lots of organic, locally sourced food, minimally processed items, and let's say they ate meat. You took somebody like that who ate meat twice a day. If you cut out their meat, it probably wouldn't make that big of a difference for their health. If you took a vegetarian and you added a little bit of meat into their day, it probably wouldn't make that big of a difference for their health. However, and this is a big part of the science behind intermittent fasting, is that it's all about finding what works best for you. For vegetarians and vegans, obviously that ethical part makes a big difference for a lot of people, and throwing meat into their diet wouldn't be good at all. But if you took somebody in Italy and put them on a low carb diet, that would probably be a disaster. So so much of it is compliance, is happiness, but still the pillars: eat real food, not too much, mostly plants, is almost always true. So when people say, when these experts promote, low carb, high protein, blah 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 blah, people thrive on all of these diets, but sometimes it takes some experimentation to find the one that you thrive on. Like, people, it's a lot of trial and error. So I feel like this is a hard question. I feel like everybody's right and everybody's wrong. All the low carb people who promote low carb diets, they do it because they've seen it work for people. The vegans, the blue zones, the Atkins, etc., they promote it because they've seen it work for people. So if it works for people, it works for people. Like, when somebody asks me, what's the best running shoe, or what's a good running shoe for this or that, I say, the best one is the one that feels the best for you. There are 200-pound people that run barefoot for marathons, and there are 140-pound people who need Hokas. That's true. That kind of scenario is true for diet, for strength work, for shoes, for basically everything. It's find what makes you feel the best. So anybody that tells you that you have to go vegan for health, or you have to go low carb or paleo for health, you don't. They're wrong. They might be wrong. Because, like I said, they're telling you that because they've seen it help and benefit people. So they're all right, but they take it with a grain of salt. So that's my spiel on that. What else do we got? So you're not feeling well. It's always hard to say. I don't know how long you've been vegan, so it could have something to do with your diet. It could have nothing to do with your diet. Sometimes when somebody goes vegan, or they start cutting out products, or they're just not feeling well in general, plant-based eater or not, it could be just one thing. It could be that it's the winter and you're low on vitamin D or iron. Maybe your intrinsic factor needed for B12 absorption is low, and that's going to affect you, vegan, vegetarian, or low carb. So, if you live very, very north in the US or wherever, sunlight, vitamin D is going to play a big part. So, I hope maybe your doctors looked at this and maybe did some blood work to test your iron, your B12, your vitamin D. As for protein, fat, you need all that in your diet. I think that people, people like to promote what works best for them, obviously, and it's always good intentioned. It's because they believe it's worked. It's worked for them. They've seen it work for others, but I don't remember where I was going with that one. Yeah. What else do we got? Oh, so yeah. So most people eat meat. So most people are going to tell you because they've heard from the USDA, wherever, that you need meat, animal protein in your diet to live, to survive. But I mean, obviously that's not true. But again, somebody changes their diet to cut out meat, that probably means they add something else in. And many cases, it's been where somebody, cut out meat, dairy, whatever, and they added in something else, or they just started eating more of something they already ate, and whatever that was didn't bode so well with their diet, so their body. And it could be just one little thing. If somebody stops eating meat, they might start eating a lot more grains. And if their body doesn't handle whatever type of grain they're eating more of, they might just blame the not eating meat part. So when in fact it was just, oh well, maybe you should stop eating so much wheat, for example, if that's causing you a problem. So what else do we got? There's a lot going on. A lot going on in the nutrition world, and it's pretty confusing, but I think you're on the right path because you're questioning and you're experimenting and you're talking to experts, maybe not the ones that were best for you, but you said you're you said you're hungry. I don't know. I'm always hungry until I eat, and then I'm probably going to be hungry again 2 hours later. So I I ran with somebody yesterday, and she went back to Michigan to she did a half, but she spent a lot of time with friends and family who are non-runners, and she said she couldn't believe how little they ate, and she actually brought this up during the group run, that she couldn't believe how she ate so much. Like she the first day she was there, they didn't eat enough. So she didn't. They ate normally. She didn't eat enough, and she didn't feel good. And she ate a bagel before dinner, and they were like, "What are you doing? We're gonna eat dinner in an hour." And she's just like, "I'm ravenous because I need this bagel because I'm so hungry." So I don't know. I eat all the time. I mean, I'm pretty much always hungry unless I'm, fasting in the morning, which is something I do 3 to 4 days a week. But then I'll eat at noon. I'll basically still eat 4 meals, or if I'm eating or just done eating, then I'm not hungry. But basically, I'm always hungry. So. As for the energy, again, it could be that you're not eating enough. If you're always hungry, it could be that you're not eating enough. Maybe you're not getting enough fat or protein. Maybe it's a B12 and iron or a vitamin D problem. Maybe it's something completely different. Maybe you could go in and get a test to see if you're allergic to anything. Something might not be right, and it's tricky to figure out what that is, but once you do, everything changes, and you start to thrive, and it starts to feel really good. So keep questioning, keep experimenting, keep thinking, keep trying. Try things. Talk to experts that you agree with, that are willing to work with you. When clients come to me for coaching, they sometimes assume I'm going to make them do things, but in fact, the training follows them. Somebody recently asked me, like, how much time do I need to commit to training? And I'm like, well, how much time can you commit? When it comes to, I work with them. I work with what they have, what they want to do. Like with strength work and a gym membership, it comes down to what they have. I'm not going to make them get a gym membership or do things or time commitments that they don't have or want to do. I'm going to work with what they have and what they can do. And it should be the same with talking to diets, with talking to doctors and nutritionists. If they should They should support you and try to work with what you have in mind and what you believe in. So I would find some new experts to talk to. Find some people that will work with you, not against you. And I think I rambled for long enough. We're at 15 minutes. So let me know if you have any other questions or comments. Really appreciated your post, Susie. And yeah, let's keep the conversation rolling. Keep thinking, stay curious.